Okay, here we are inside Halifax, Bank of Scotland, one of the banks that got massively bailed out by the government for using very fancy financial derivatives to play with people's money. Oh no, we're doing a series here for ABC News. It's just, we'll be 2 seconds.
Have you permission to film?
No, but that's part of the fun. So, in central London, on the 26th, banks such as Halifax, Bank of Scotland that we are here, got completely trashed by anarchists and other violent protesters. It's very funny, as Benito Mussolini said in World War II, when the corporate state and the government state merge, you have something called fascism. And in this country, banks like HBOS are called too big to fail. So what they can do is basically spend all the customers that you see behind me, spend all their money in very exotic financial systems such as derivatives around the world. And when they lose all that money and they're about to go bust in a capitalist society, oh no, could you please not touch your equipment? That's actually, you're not allowed to touch people in public. It will be 2 seconds. So the staff here, because they are obviously upholding this criminal system of the corporations taking people's money from taxation to basically bail out the bank, it's they do get quite stressed when we film in here. We do live in a gigantic illusion, and when a country calls itself capitalist, like Great Britain, and then they say that banks like HBOS are too big to fail, it doesn't seem very fair that they then take billions of pounds of taxpayers' money to bail them out, in essence turning them into public institutions. And as I said earlier, when you merge the corporate with the state, you have fascism. If, for example, I were to start a business and play with all my clients' money and lose all that money, I would go out of business instantly. I may even end up in jail. But when a bank, a big institution like this, loses all the money, it's my children, my grandchildren, and their children who will end up having to pay for this through taxation. And it's also very interesting that we live in a country where they're talking about cuts and austerity measures and that people losing their jobs left, right and centre, but we can afford to spend £6 million per day bombing Libyans. Welcome to the Matrix. Hi everyone, here we are inside Barclays Bank. I'm happy to announce that Barclays were actually quite nice.
Excuse me.
In terms that they didn't. Oh no, please.
Sorry, you
no,
can't.
Please don't touch the camera. Don't touch the camera. You're not allowed to touch us. That's assault. Carry on filming. We're here from the news. We're here from the news.
Doesn't matter.
We're here from
You're
the
not
news.
allowed
No.
to film.
Calm down. It's okay. Dude, calm down. Look, okay, maybe you can try filming me from over there. As you can see over the man's fingers, Barclays was one of the banks that did not require any bailouts. But Bob Diamond.
So if you don't get out of that, please.
1 second. No, wait. So Bob Diamond, though.
Don't touch me, it's assault.
Thank you. Okay, Bob Diamond, £6 million bonus, whilst these people here are struggling through austerity measures.
Ma'am, do you want to call the police?
What for?
Because you're not allowed to film it for security.
Okay, tell you what, officially,
For security.
ask me to leave.
Can you leave?
Yes, there you go. We're not breaking any laws.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Great Britain. In this wonderful capitalist society, it's not the people that rob the banks. It's the bank that robs you. It's a very funny joke. Ladies and gentlemen, because the bankers and all their friends in government played a bit too much with all your money, we're afraid you're going to have to tighten your belts a little bit, lose your jobs, have a lower standard of living, whilst your taxpayers' money which has already been used to bail out the banks for billions of pounds, will continue to merge the corporate state with the government state to bring about financial fascism. And whilst the rest of us struggle with our lives, we lose our jobs, we can't afford to pay the mortgages, public sectors have all their jobs cut. The bankers, and for example, Bob Diamond, sorry, Sir Bob Diamond, because he's knighted by the Queen, because he's better than you peasants. Sir Bob Diamond, Chief Executive Officer of Barclays, took home a bonus, this isn't his basic salary, a bonus on top of his salary of £6 million. Because Bob Diamond is better than us, because it's very important that he maintains his luxury yacht in the Caribbean. It's very important that he sends his children to the best schools and flies around the world in private jets. What the government and Sir Bob Diamond are doing, they are sending a very massive FUCKU to the British population. And because most of us are too scared and too worried about losing our jobs to actually say anything about it, the criminal banksters and their puppet friends in government are laughing all the way to their secret banks in Switzerland. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an alternative. And as we saw in the Great British Insurrection of 26th of March 2011, 500,000 people marched through London, smashed up the banks, smashed up a few major corporations, and actually made headlines. But these people get called criminals. They get called hooligans. But when the banks and their puppets in government, David Cameron, George Osborne, Nick Clegg, Vince Cable, all the other little corporate whores in the capitalist gangbang, when they decide in this economic climate to spend £6 million per day for image. My face is covered for image. Look, I'm not trying to hide it. It's just for image. When this government spends £6 million per day bombing Libya, something is very strange. We can't afford to maintain public services. We can't afford to keep you all employed. Inflation is running wild. People are losing their houses left, right, and center because these banks played around with your money through exotic financial systems called derivatives, and they lost it all, but that's okay because we bailed them out. These banks, ladies and gentlemen, are too big to fail, which I guess means that we're too small to succeed. Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in capitalist Great Britain, you don't rob the banks, the bank robs you. It's a wonderful system. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for bothering your nice shopping experience. I apologize if the megaphone is loud and annoying, but believe me, it's nothing compared to what the victims of British, American, and Israeli imperialism go through every day. This is only a megaphone. It makes noise. I'm speaking. It doesn't quite compare to having a 2,000-pound laser-guided weapon dropped on your house. Oh, sorry, we're not meant to talk about those things. Barclays Bank, although they did not require too big a bailout, they are still part of the same rotten, corrupt, evil system. And when this whole country is going down the drain, the CEO, Bob Diamond, takes home a bonus of £6 million. Something is very strange. But I guess, ladies and gentlemen, in the fascist state we've entered, and it was Benito Mussolini, the ex-dictator of Italy in World War II, he said, the corporate state is the fascist state. So when you merge the big financial industry with big government, you have fascism. When the government decides that certain banks are too big to fail, We have a system approaching Soviet Russia. The full merging of the corporate and the governmental. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please break through the illusion. Please start getting your information from other sources. This isn't a free country with democracy. We are living in a livestock management program, and we are all the livestock. My advice to you now, seeing as our government cannot be trusted to not bomb people around the world, is to stop paying your taxes. And if you work a job where they gather taxes at source before it enters your bank account, it's time to change jobs. And we strongly advise anyone who is struggling because of the economic collapse to pay their mortgages. We strongly advise you to barricade your house, turn it into a fortress, and stop paying your mortgage. When it's the very banks that caused this problem are then asking for more money for your mortgage after they played around with all that money, it's important to tell them to piss off. Your life has value, and stop complying. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. Enjoy your shopping, and sorry for bothering.